Welcome to the podcast with a purpose, with information and content meant to motivate, aspire, and inspire you. From romance author and host Charmyra E. Fleming, but you can call her Mai. Welcome to an experience. This is the Purple Charm Experience. What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Charmyra E. Fleming, but you can call me Mai. Welcome to the Purple Charm Experience podcast. Of course, you all know me if you listen to the podcast regularly or watch these videos when I have special guests on. You know that I'm a romance author, and this show, I do this show with a purpose to motivate, aspire, and inspire you while sharing my writer's journey, and is always accompanied with a nice sip and a little bit of Prince history. But today I'm super excited because I am joined by another fellow Prince family member. And I call this show the Prince History Special around Prince's Purple World in the Day. So my special guest for today is Mr. Michael Bew. I am so excited and delighted and honored to have him on the show. So without further ado, everyone, please welcome Michael Bew. Thanks, Michael, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So I just want to jump right in because, recently I had the amazing pleasure of coming out to LA for my birthday and spending some time with one of my best friends. And she was so amazing to connect the two of us. And so I had such a fantastic time. Guys, I'm telling you, I love Prince and I have a little baby collection, but Michael, his stuff is out of this world. So Michael, tell us a little bit about, your entry point into the Prince world and how did you fall in love with the man, the music, the icon that we all know as Prince?
Well, goes back to in my little hometown in Mississippi, we used to have a dance hall for teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And on Saturday night, the DJ would always introduce new music. And so at the end of sixth grade, beginning of seventh grade, he threw on this track and it was Soft and Wet.
Wow.
He became, I love the song right away because it was just so hip with the dance moves and everything. So went to the record shop, bought it, just 45.
Wow.
And then a year later, he dropped with the second album. But by that time, when he dropped with the second album, I was into Right On Magazine. It was such a big magazine day. And they had Prince on the cover and they had a Prince interview.
Wow.
And they were asking him, how did he get, where did he get his red boots? I think he said something like he was in an elevator and had a nosebleed. And by the time he got out of the elevator, his boots were red. And it just threw me. And I was like, okay, this guy is something,
Right.
So, wow. And then, so anyway, when he dropped the second single, Why Do You Want to Treat Me So Bad? Guitar solo was just amazing. Then when I saw the video, it was everything, all the energy of the guitar solo. And I was an instant fan from there. So I went out and got the album. So I had 3 singles in an album. And from there, I became a fan. Yes.
Wow. So I know from myself, okay, I'm not sound crazy because I feel like I can still remember, as a little, I might have been 2 when I first heard Do Me Baby. I can still hear it playing in my head. I was a little itty bitty thing. I have 2 aunts that were huge Prince fans. Actually, 3 aunts that were huge Prince fans. But one used to play the Controversy album like crazy. And so I still remember to this day what how it sound when I heard Do Me Baby for the first time. And also what's I can see it I can't even think of the name of the song. They're
Christian, Private Joy.
Oh, That's the other one. That's my other favorite one. No, but it's it'll come to me. I can see it. He's wearing the hat to the side.
Oh,
can't get it. Doves Cry. Doves Cry.
That's a Dirty Mind. That's Word.
It's Doves Cry. That's the other one I'm thinking of. I remember the first time I heard that one too. So like, do you have like a favorite song? Because it's so hard for me to choose. People always ask, but it's so difficult to choose.
It's very hard to choose. But I stick with the one that made me the original fan, which is Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad.
Okay.
And if I had to venture out from that one, it would probably be If I Was Your Girlfriend.
Now see, you speaking to my heart now. You speaking to my heart. Look. So I'm tripping because I'm glad you even brought that up, because it's a good segue into something I'm about to bring up, because I feel like If I Was Your Girlfriend it's probably my all-time favorite, maybe, because I know if I do like a playlist and I'm listening to a bunch of his music, that's definitely gonna be one of the first ones I listen to. And so, like, I remember right after he transitioned, I went through this kick, and I bought like everything. I got the DVD. I was like, oh my God. And you know what? Like, I remember when didn't HBO play it on played a concert on HBO at one time?
They probably did.
Because I feel like I saw it on HBO back in the day, but I couldn't figure out what it was I was watching, so I could figure out where to find that video. But when he transitioned,
it was a theater release, so
yeah,
HBO probably did play it.
Okay, because I was like, am I going crazy? Because, and then when I found it, I was like, that's what. And I remember there was a part in there where he looked like he was dressed in like army fatigue, like army green. And I remember I was like, I gotta buy it, and I bought everything. And you know what's so funny? Because you said If I Was Your Girlfriend, this guy recently, everybody, y'all, if you listen to the podcast, you know I do my favorite sips, or my sips of the week. And someone told me about a book called 33 1/3. Have you ever heard of it?
I have. It's on Amazon.
Yeah, and so I didn't know that they did one for Sign of the Times, and so I got the book too. But it was just a trip, and I'm glad you brought it up, because that was a good segue for me to talk about that. But so,
I'll follow your lead to get that one too.
So if you had to choose like your favorite album, what would you say? Would you go back to the beginning, or?
My favorite, most sentimental album, I'm right there. It's Controversy.
Really?
That's my most sentimental album. I don't know if it has something to do with I couldn't get Dirty Mind without having to go through someone, because I was underage. I was only like 14 when it came out, and they didn't sell it to me at the record store, so I had to get one of my older cousins to get it. And I remember being, I think, maybe in 11th grade when Controversy came out, and I loved it. Of course, it was just so far out, sexuality and joy, Jack You All. Do Me was just, I don't know, just put me in a whole other stratosphere.
Yeah. What do you think about the political aspect of like his music, particularly that album? Because I feel like there's so much relevancy in some of the things that he was saying back then that's so, timely for now. How do you feel about some of the political stances that he had in his music, specifically Controversy, and maybe some of the other albums that you can think of? I'm thinking one in particular. I think it was on they had actually had it on the deluxe for Purple Rain, I think it was. No, 1999 deluxe album edition, where they had Bold Generation on there. And I thought that was just like so timely, and I connected it to the Tennessee Congress council members that basically stood up, and I was like, this is a bold generation. They connected those two to each other. So how do you feel about some of the things that you listened to back in the day and relating into a lot of the things that's going on today?
Well, back in the day, that was one of the main attractions to Prince, especially the Controversy album, especially the song Controversy.
Yeah.
Because back then I knew that I was gay, but I wasn't out.
Right.
And the song said it for me. Because I would take it everywhere I went. And
that's
just
awesome.
make people hear it and play it, and the Black community, Black musicians, they weren't gonna put themselves in that type of light.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say something. Like, I've always been a Michael Jackson fan, and Michael was always my number one guy until Prince came along. And that's because Prince spoke to me on that very personal level that I needed to get through in a small community.
Right.
Whereas Michael was strictly, dance and having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. Prince was my inner things I couldn't say out loud. He said it for me. And that's, he was right on point with all of that. Ronnie talked to Russia, right on point.
Yeah, like I was like, wow, like even I want to say it's Uptown on Dirty Mind.
Absolutely.
I'm like, we don't want to fight your war. Like, I'm like, he was
right
on it.
Right on point. I always wanted unity between the races, between the genders, between sexual preference, between religion. He just always, put humanity first.
Right.
Because cohesive whole. And that's one of the things I think most people don't get from his music. But if they could channel that, I think that he would have a lot more fans.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I'm just so happy that we have so many albums and records that we can turn to, even when he's talking about, our struggle as African Americans. I mean, he has so many really wonderful tracks that if people just listen to the lyrics, like he's telling us what we should be doing. Like he's giving the blueprint of how we should live, because I just appreciate him for that. Like one of my favorite tracks is one of the ones right before he passed from the Hit and Run, was Baltimore. It brings me to tears every single time I listen to it. Yeah, every single time I listen to it, it brings me to tears, because I know that we're still fighting these battles, and I'm looking at the world crumbling around us, and yet we have this awesome music that we can like turn to and hold each other up, lift each other up, encourage each other through, and I'm just thankful for that. So
I think the death of his son really, and the death of his mother, a lot of the unresolved issues he had with his mother, all of that brought this phenomenal growth in him, and it definitely came through in that period.
Yeah.
And the fact that he wasn't, chained to the industry anymore,
Right.
he really expressed himself and put it out there. I don't know if you remember when he had his. I've never been a big internet person, but he had this Love One Another website where he would occasionally give out, songs and everything. 12 different albums that he released, on Love One Another. And I have them through bootleg.
Oh.
But at the time I didn't have them. But because I was such a fan, somehow some of the singles, say like War and Northeast Southwest, they made it to his mailing list, and I have those things. And it's like, how did I get this? How did I get this? But yeah.
You have North, South, East, West. That's the
I have my original cassette that he sent in the War, Kama Sutra. Yeah, I have the original cassettes.
I think that was the only ones that I couldn't get when, like, right after he passed, because someone was selling them, but they were so expensive. And I was like, I refuse. I'm not doing it. I've already spent like beyond much. Like Jen will tell you, I was on a rampage buying up everything. And I was like, wait a minute, there's only one track on each one of these or something like that. I was like, this is crazy. He did like he did with Love Sexy and just went straight out and just played on each one. I was like, I can't see myself buying these albums for
people, they were gouging.
Yeah, really. They were. They really were.
But yeah, he was in his jazz phase.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like. So when you think about, because I'm gonna come back to the jazz because I love like that stretch of time when he was doing like the Rainbow Children and all that. Love that era. But I wanted to ask you, how many bootlegs do you have, and what did you think about the bootlegs? Or do you want to say?
As far as the quality, or what?
What the songs were, what what produced the quality. Well, yeah, the quality
I was always hungry for the music.
Yeah.
And I was a part of the bootleg community right after signing the Times, because I knew that.
So you got the black album on bootleg?
I got that one the week that it was supposed to come out and didn't come out. I think it was like December 8th. I kind of remember that for some strange reason. And and it didn't come out. I was at Tower Records for the Midnight Thing, waiting, and no Prince album. And then one of the guys there, I'm not gonna say his name, but he was from Chicago, and he was doing security there, and he was like, "Don't worry, I can get you a copy. Just come back."
What?
Like, okay. And so I went back, and I think I may have paid $20 or $30 for, but it was like just a cassette where he recorded it off whatever his source was. So it was
okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I took it to my friends at the time and took it to work. And of course, everybody was tripping on Bob George. And I just love the album. And it's one of my favorite albums. And I guess it's because of just how we had to go about getting it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, just reading, because I remember, because after he passed, there was so many. Everybody had like these cool stories about all of the their experience with Prince or whatever. And it was just awesome to read, how people was going about getting this album. How, I mean, literally underground.
Yeah. And anyway, the guy after that, he just started giving me his list of what the stuff that he had. Wow. And it turns out he was friends with, I think it was Brown Mark. He had a connection through Brown Mark.
Oh, wow.
That's how he was getting
that stuff. Wow. I know when I first listened to the Black Album, I was like, it's really funky,
funky and fun.
Yeah. And even though some of it it was like cussing like a sailor, I was like, ooh. It was just really funky. I love how he was like rapping on it, and like he was trying a lot of different things. It wasn't like, I think a lot of times people were so critical of him for, like, they're less critical now of some of the trash music that we have out today than they were. I mean, like, they were harsher on some of our icons like Prince and Whitney and Michael and Janet, like back in the day, and like a slew of other amazing artists that we have from our time. And like, I'm like, we let so many of these youngsters get away with stuff that they couldn't couldn't even hit a bad note back in the day.
And here's the thing though, like with Prince, with his thing is music just poured out of him, a song a day almost, practically. And of course he would probably be excited and get so many together and say, hey, I want to do an album.
Right.
And yeah, some of them probably weren't up to what people expect or wanted.
Right.
But he could have easily taken the road to say, oh, I'm only going to release an album every 2 or 3 years, and then the best from all the things that he did within that period, which would have still been an abundance of music.
Right.
So I like the fact that Prince, he basically just wanted the ideas that, because he's always looking for new ideas and ways to express himself. And you get that with the abundance of the music. You actually see the transitions.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. And I love that we see him grow up through his music.
Absolutely.
I mean, literally
with other artists because they only put one out every so many years and so many years,
you really get to see him try different things, try different genres of music, with different, with him mixing up who he's performing with or playing with, from the Revolution to from the original group. I don't even know if he had a name for the Dirty Mind group.
Well, I just call them the Uptown Guys.
Oh, okay.
Backing band back then. They were, of course, some of my favorite. I love Andre Simone.
Yeah. I that album, like that Dirty Mind album, I swear I was listening to it last night. It is like really one of my favorites, like truly one of my favorites. Between that one and Sign of the Times, like I literally can listen to those two albums back and forth.
Anytime Prince uses black and white, and I'm gonna throw the Black album in here too because it had just a Black album cover, but you got like Dirty Mind, Parade,
yes,
the Black album, and Come, all of them. So whenever I see that black cover, I get excited. The black
oh my God! Okay,
because I know he's gonna do something. I know something's gonna happen.
Going down. Do you which album do you feel like is probably the most underrated album? I want to say Come is for me.
Come is a great album that should have sold a lot more than it sold. Right. It should have gotten a lot more publicity. But the energy, New Power sold.
Right.
Again, it reminds me so much of the Black album in that it's just free and it's so fun.
Which one?
Where he's holding the microphone like a gun, kind
of. Yeah. Oh yeah, the one that has
My Songs Mad Sex and Freaks on This Side.
Freaks on the Side. I love Freaks on the Side. Yep. The one, that's another one of my favorites. Yep, from that one.
I love that. I think that's underrated. And I also think Girl 6 is underrated. Even though it's just a collection of songs.
Yep. I agree. Because I honestly wanted to go, I keep going on Spike Lee's website and keep telling myself I'm gonna buy it just so I can get him to sign it because I know that it was in the movie. But I was like, I don't know. Should I go ahead and get it? I need to go ahead and get it. I need to just go ahead and get it because I don't.
Do you have any of the New Power Generation NPG albums or the?
No, it was hard for me to get any of that stuff.
Okay, because there is one song, "Count the Days." It's also on Girl 6. That's from one of those albums.
Oh, really?
Then of course you have the Family, Screams of Passion.
Yep.
6 is on there.
Yep.
Nasty Girl, and I can't remember which Prince slow song, but it's a great album.
Yeah, that's that album. I have to that's a good one.
Which one is your most underrated?
I was saying Come. I said Come, but I'm thinking, no, let me rethink that one then. Because it's even what do you think?
Come is not really underrated because once people hear it, they're like, when did he put that out? What was I at? They get it right away. Yep. But it just didn't get the publicity.
Right. I think another one, what is the one, the blue and white one? It's not from 1999. You know what I'm talking about. It has Eve on it. He did the track with Eve on that one.
Eve?
Yeah. It's like Can't think of the daggone album. It's such a great album because
what era are we talking?
It's in the 90s. The end of the 90s, like 1998, 99 time frame. When he had the ponytails, like the little plaits in his hair.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Raven to the Joy Fantastic.
Yes, Raven to the Joy Fantastic. I think I like that album too.
That's actually one of mine that at the time it was out, I really didn't play it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Since its death, I've gone back to revisit it for what I'm finding that it's better than I had originally.
Yeah. Because I didn't give it a shot. I didn't give it a chance back then either. But I was like what is Prince doing right now? What is he doing? He got on shiny clothes, shiny suits and stuff.
Yeah.
Blasting his hair.
Yeah, but I have revisited it, and I think it's better than I originally.
Yeah, like there's a track on there with him and Gwen Stefani that I love. Like I was like, oh my god, this is like because right after he transitioned, I listened to literally everything, just one by one, and just to get familiar because I had no idea, and I was just and it was funny because I remember I was like when I got to the gold album, I was like, wait a minute, do I have this album? And I was like, I know I got this album in the trunk somewhere in my car. And lo and behold, I went and found my little, you remember we used to have the CD cases with all the CDs in it? And I was flipping through it. I was like, I know I got this one. there popped up the gold album and musicology. I was like, wow. I completely forgot I had those albums. Wow. Like I had bought those albums, and I was just like, dang, like this is pretty bad.
Favorite Prince protege?
My favorite? Mm-hmm. Okay, it's a tie between Vanity and Sheila E. Those are my two favorites. What about you?
Vanity and Andre Simone.
Really?
Yeah, but I love the Sign of the Times band.
Yeah. Yes.
I love the NPG band. The Revolution is not my favorite band. I mean,
I get it.
Nice period, and good things were happening for Prince, but they weren't my favorite.
Yeah. I think
and stuff.
Like I think I love the Sign of the Times band. Well, would the Sign of the Times band go into like the Graffiti Bridge era too? Love Sexy Graffiti Bridge with Cat and all that?
By the time Graffiti Bridge came, he was transitioning between the Love Sexy band and
the New Power Generation.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Rosie came with Cream and
okay, so like 93, 94-ish.
No,
Diamonds and Pearls, right?
91, I believe.
Oh, okay. Maybe okay. Because I like the band that had Cat in it.
That's 1988.
Okay, that group right there. 88. That group right there was fun to watch.
Yes. Cat and Bunny.
Bad. And I think that's probably when he was the most high energy. Am I right or no?
No, you're right.
Okay. And if you
had the Extended Revolution.
How she was?
No, I said I like the Extended Revolution.
Okay.
We added members of Sheila E's band and the family.
Okay. Okay.
Stuff going on, and when he toured, he just pulled people from all the different album projects and stuff and put them together.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That was the thing that I think, what's her name? Wendy?
Yeah.
Like, because she wants to be the boss in the center of things, and so things kind of fell apart with the Revolution. Yeah, I say that because I've always thought she wants to be just as big as Prince. And they made some good contributions, but her contributions, when you listen to them and then you listen to the songs without them, it's really no, you don't feel like a letdown in the song.
Right. I mean, yeah, like when he moved on, I think like the people that he added and some of the bands after that group, that was tough. Like I'm telling you,
Maceo Parker from James Brown.
Yes,
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I mean they shut it down.
When you're a great artist like that, you have to find other people to keep up with you.
Right.
And I guess too to draw off of as inspiration as well.
Right.
You're so driven and you are this musical prodigy.
Right. I think it's man, like everyone was just at the top of their level, at the top of their game whenever they got with him. Like, I mean, you had to be literally on point to play with him from dance to just full out like musician, everything. And I just think about whenever I look at those videos from like specifically that Graffiti Bridge era, Love Sexy era, I think.
That's my favorite concept. Love Sexy? He came out in the car. Oh my God.
I was not old enough to see some of those shows in person because to watch them on video, those had to be some of the best shows.
Hot. When I think it was Prince, Cat, and Sheila E. came in the Alphabet Streetcar. And then they got out. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Erotic City was the start song. And we were at the LA Sports Arena. And we just went off. That was incredible.
What was your favorite live show? Because I know you had to sing some of his
I've seen so many Prince live shows. I've seen concerts where Prince did nothing but the hits. I've seen where he did nothing but bootleg. I've seen where he's just trying stuff out and just doing a jam session of maybe 2 songs for the entire time. I mean,
oh my God.
The concerts that he did, the ones with Mate as the premier dancer, those were excellent. For the Love Symbol album.
Yeah.
Oh my God, those shows were excellent.
Yeah.
And I want to say he did, because I saw him twice at the Sports Arena. I want to say it was Diamonds and Pearls in Love Symbol, if I'm not mistaken. And Glam Slam, got to see those songs before the Come album came out, because it was this thing where he was supposed to, you know how you get the, I guess the little tidbit of what's next.
Yeah.
He's gonna do this album of all one-word songs, and a lot of the Come stuff was there, but also the other stuff like interactive and things. So at Glam Slam, we got to see a lot of those songs. And Glam Slam itself, the show had this. I still have the what do you call it? The little billboard thing, the press thing.
Oh my God, you still got the press release and everything for it? Oh my God.
Songs on it. But yeah, you got songs from the Gold Experience, from Come, and then from the stage show like Strays of the World and stuff like that.
That is awesome.
That was an awesome concert. I saw him, of course, at the LA Forum for Purple Rain. Saw him at the Palladium.
Wow.
He redid, or he sang all the songs from Purple Rain. It was just all the songs from Purple Rain. That's all he did. And he jammed out, gave us the extended version of Computer Blue, which was
Lord.
Back then. It was great. Yeah.
That song right there.
Too much. Because when you hear the album version, it's like it's a lot going on.
It is a lot going on, because I can only imagine what it sounds like in person.
the whole version is like, oh, okay, he had to compact all these ideas into 4 or 5 minutes, but it's really like a 12 to 16-minute song.
Yeah, I remember reading about it and that he condensed it down. I was like, oh my God. And then that piano part was his dad's. Like, I was like, oh my God. Like, how do you even take that and create this whole thing around it?
Yeah, how do you edit it down to that? And the edit seems like it's the perfect song until you hear, all the different ideas that he came from. It's like, wow, this is crazy.
That man was incredible. Incredible.
But I'm gonna give you one to seek out. Billy Sunglasses.
Billy Sunglasses. Whoa, now you wanna hit me with something I ain't never heard.
An hour jam.
What?
Yeah, and if you can't get a hold of it, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I will do that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, because they talk about Wally, the song on Sign of the Times, Wally goes, "Where did you get those sunglasses, funkiest glasses I've ever seen?" Well, that all comes from Billy Sunglasses, which was a song he was throwing around for Purple Rain for the character Billy, who was the club owner.
Oh yeah! Wow, isn't that something? What?
But it's so many ideas that he's doing in that. Like I said, it's about an hour long. It's just a jam session.
Are you serious?
And you have to get past like 16 or 17 minutes before you start really getting into the changes and what the song is going to become.
Wow. That's awesome. I can't wait to find that. I cannot wait to find that.
That's one to look out for.
Because it was so funny because I remember it was who was it? Questlove, I believe, shared this one. It was like a clip from like a Prince, and I think it was the Revolution. I think they was having like a rehearsal, and it was in like I want to say like in a garage. It wasn't, maybe not a garage, but it was like some, yeah. And I was like, and they like you had to like he shared it like the link I think maybe on I don't know I want to say Twitter, but it was somewhere like OK Player, one of his platforms he shared it through. And I remember getting it and I had to download it. It's like a little like it's a video clip. And he put it up for a little bit and then took it down. This was Quest. And I was like, I can't believe I got this. And oh my God, I'm sitting here listening to him and this band play like literally, like you're saying, like you just said, like for 15, 20 minutes. I mean, just playing stuff. And him like going running through it. No, let's go over it again. No, let's go over it again.
And you can hear like where songs come from, like out of those jam sessions, you can see where he will take one little, idea and just make a whole song.
Yeah. Yeah. I love how he like repurpose songs or will pull from a song and you'll hear it in another song. Like even like when he did like Hit and Run and like what is it, the $1 million show or something like that?
One, and then they won Extra Lovable.
Yes, I love that song. That's like one of my favorites too. I love that. It's such a good
one of the early ones. And another one to peep out, I think I played it for you, Joy and Repetition with the intro.
Yes. And then I need to listen to that one again, but
when Dove scream, so you can get a, I guess an idea of this crazy punk bass that he did with the song.
What did you feel about? Because I feel like when I talk about it, most people don't know this one, but Crucial. Like, absolutely. I just love how that song builds. Yes. Like, I feel like it's complete. Honestly, I feel like it's
A perfect song.
Yeah, it's a perfect song, but it reminds me of like an orgasm, really, because it just gets to that
Well,
point.
I know exactly the part you're talking
Yeah,
about too. When you said that, I know
get
exactly
right to that
what
top,
you're
and it's
talking
like,
about.
yeah.
And I love every version of that song. I love the guitar based one. I love the horn based, and I love the orchestration based.
Yeah,
Which is the last one we got from the Sign of the Times thing. And it's so quiet and beautiful with the different lyrics. It took me a while to get because the first verse I think is different. But I actually like that version the best.
Really? Yeah. I'm gonna have to listen to that one because
that's it in its purest form before he started like handing it out to Eric Leeds and to whoever and saying, "Hey, let's put this on it and put this on it." The one that's on Sunday, the song in its original state, and it's extraordinary. And my second leg would be, what's my song? Sexual Suicide.
Ooh, I need to listen to that one.
Oh my God, I love this.
I need to listen to that one because I don't think I've ever heard that.
Oh,
I don't think I ever heard that one.
Fall in love with it. But if you have Crystal Ball,
I do.
1998.
Yes, the one that has like the purple circle thing on it. It says Crystal Ball. Yep, I got it. But I don't.
On disc 2, I believe.
Okay, I need to go back and listen to it because it's been a while since I listened to that one. One of I in Chlorine Bacon Skin is
yeah.
my favorites on that one.
Oh yeah. And they gave us a little bit of that one too on the 1990 deluxe set.
Yeah. What's is Chlorine Bacon Skin the one with him and
Morris?
Yeah, playing the drums. Yeah. He was like,
yeah. You hear Irresistible Bitch.
Yeah.
Came from that song.
That's what came from Irresistible Bitch came from that one?
Came from that song. From that jam session.
I didn't know that. I'm learning all kinds of stuff today. Oh my God. What? I didn't know that. That's another one of my favorites.
Absolutely. I thought that song was just from another world when I first heard it. I don't know. It just, and even now, it's such a strange song. You never heard anything like it.
Irresistible Bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a empowerment.
Music in the way that they, everything is like,
like,
where did this come from?
Exactly. And you know what? I like when back in the day, some of the songs that when I heard it or listening to like my mom and my aunts and turn that off. That's the whole guy. I'm like, wait a minute. Now when I listen to it, I'm like, I'm empowered by some of these songs. Like, Scarlet Pussy. I'm like,
oh, there go one.
Did it.
Yeah, that bass line on Scarlet is something else.
Oh, yes. I'm like, man, he was just, I think he just, I love the fact that he made men feel empowered to be men and women to be empowered to be women and,
gave women their glory.
Yeah, like, God, man, like he was bad. He was just bad, man. Yeah. Oh, when you think about some of the progression of his music career, what do you feel like was one of his best points in his career? Because everybody tries to say that the height of his career was like, the 80s or whatever, but I don't think he ever came down for me.
The 80s were definitely, I mean, because I was young and like I say, I was on the Prince ship from the very beginning. So for him to have, Purple Rain and all that, it was great. And I always thought he was robbed from the Grammy for Sign of the Times for Album of the Year. I mean, U2 got it that year. And I remember saying, I love, Joshua Tree. And Jackson's Bad. I love that too. And I was like, Michael's gonna get it because it's Michael Jackson. And I said, "But Prince should get this because there's nothing out there like this album."
Yeah, yeah. He was speaking truth to power back then too.
And that's the part people don't get, is like, because it is so far out and it is so hard to process something that you have no idea what's coming next.
Mm-hmm.
I want to deal with that.
Mm-hmm. And some of it was so ahead of its time too.
Yeah. And so I think all of that played against him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that I forgot. What was the original question I went off?
It was just shoot, I don't forgot what I asked too. Y'all listen.
But he was robbed for that Grammy.
Yeah, yeah.
I was real happy about when they, inducted it into the Grammy Hall of Fame.
Right. Yeah.
But you were saying something about
his best era, like when he was like the height of his career and everything. What do you feel like?
There were so many different ones.
I know. I know.
Of course,
he changed everything about him too whenever he did it too.
And he reinvented himself so fast because, Purple Rain and Around the World in a Day are just miles apart.
Right.
And yet they were
right there at each other. Yeah. 99 too, slapped right there in the center.
And Parade, I loved when he added, Claire Fisher with orchestration. Then you get something like Love Sexy. It's just like, where did this come from? What is this?
It was all the way out there. And I was just like, dang, this is great.
From that to a Diamonds and a Pearls, where everybody think that you are not relevant. And
wait a minute, Batman album. Batman was completely
Batman album, The Future and The Bad Dance. Oh my God.
Yeah, Lemon Crush.
Oh!
That was one of my favorites.
I used to force Lemon Crush on people. I used to force it on
you ain't have to force it on me. I'd gladly listen to it. That was one of mine.
Brilliant track. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, unlike you, I don't think he ever left because I love the Love Symbol album.
Yes.
My Name is Prince.
Blue Light is probably one of my favorites.
She said it. We said it right there at the same time. And then you got Emancipation. I love that whole album.
Yeah. Sex in the Summer on that one.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites.
I think what I love about that one, because of Sex in the Summer, is the fact that he used the baby's
heartbeat
sound on that one. Yeah, and that we will always hear their baby, for eternity. That baby lives even though he didn't live. I
remember when he was on the Oprah Winfrey Show, because that was new that the loss of the baby.
Yep.
And Oprah being who she is, she really thought she was going to get that story.
Mm-hmm. Shut that down. Put the kibosh on that.
And I know in her mind, she was like, I know he can't be all right, but he's saying everything is fine. Because she tried to come backdoor with a question on them. Mm-hmm. And he goes, we're fine, everything's fine. And she was sitting there like, how is he fine? But that's
that was a tough interview to watch too, because you could see the pain.
You can see the pain.
You can see the pain on both of their faces, and they was just, they was trying to hold it together. And I don't even know what that would be like to literally.
But what I took away from that is they didn't give her anything to go on with that. They wanted that to be private, and it stayed private.
Right. As it should have.
And he gave a very good interview, a very good performance.
Yeah.
But you didn't get that tad bit of information that you thought you were going to pull.
Right. And exploit them.
Right. There you go.
Because that's exactly what would have happened. Because look what happened when Michael gave just a little inch and it turned into a tragedy. Just like complete disaster from there.
Right. Even after they found out that the guys lied, she didn't come back to
fix it. Right.
She just let that disappear. And it's little things like that make me go like, what's her intention really? And she knows how Blacks are viewed in America, and for her to skate over things like that, I think not a good. It's not a good fit.
Right. I agree. But now that we made it back to Rainbow Children.
Yes. Another one. When he
Yeah.
hit that, I'm like, it was so.
Oh gosh.
So there, with the whole Black history concept, with of course, with the religious concept. It was just that album was deep.
It really was like Muse to the Pharaoh.
Yes, and to give us the jazz musicality behind that deepness, it was just another one overlooked.
It was truly overlooked. Like
so overlooked.
I mean, honestly, if I don't want to be honest, I feel like that whole decade was overlooked.
Yeah, because people thought he was out of his mind.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, MPL Her Soul got some bangers on it.
And then when you think about that, how he changed things, now that's what everyone lives for, to control and own their own stuff. But when he was trying to do it, it was just so crazy to
I'm like, if y'all, it took him getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for y'all to realize that this man was ill on the guitar.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
I'm like, Planet Earth has a couple of songs on there where he plays the guitar. Yes. He goes crazy on it.
Absolutely.
I'm like, oh my God.
Like I said, I go all the way back to 1979 with the guitar lick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't understand that either.
The last track is it on the For You album? That last track? Oh my God. I'm like,
I mean, you can go from album to album and find great guitar.
You definitely can. You definitely can.
Yeah, I thought that was insane too.
It's like, what?
Yeah, I thought that was insane too. I was like, okay. Chris always has the guitar in his hand when he's on the stage.
Exactly. I'm like, he's been beasting on these albums since he started. Y'all just now recognizing this?
Yeah, that was
like, oh my goodness. But it brings me nothing but life every time I see that video from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And
yeah, it's awesome.
when he leans back and the security guard pushes him up back on the stage. I love
my favorite video, I guess, is the clip of him in the Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the Revolution. I'm sorry, the Love Sexy band or the Sign of the Times band when they did TV, the live versions of Sign of the Times and Play the Sunshine.
Yes.
My absolute favorite moments.
Yes, like it's so many, like the photographs that came from just in that little period. Like I love like the photo that I think it's him with the fur on when he's singing If I Was Your Girlfriend.
If I Was Your Girlfriend, yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And to see some of those photos at Paisley when I visited, I was like, and they had whole rooms dedicated to these albums.
They only had controversy room, and something. But I remember Love Sexy and the Black album were to be opening soon, but they weren't. I went, and I need to go back.
I want to go back. We should go together because I know we should go together because I feel bad because the celebration is this coming weekend, and I was like, I can't do it. Those tickets are just too expensive, out of control right now.
And see, if he was alive, there'd be $25 a pop. You know what I mean?
You have it. Like
that's one thing I do love about him too. Once he got to be the man that he was with his music, and he realized that, hey, I may not be selling all these albums, but I'm getting a ton of money because I own everything. It's coming to me. And he realized, do the people want to see this elaborate set, or do they want good music?
Right.
And I think they want good music.
Right.
So he said, I can give them the good music, $25, no tax, no nothing, $25. And I went to like 4 of those shows.
My heart just breaks every time I hear it because it's just like I have finally got to the point where I can afford and was old enough to go. And then I had started following the Prince page on Facebook in 2015, right after the Grammy Awards. I started following. I was like, look, I'm gonna find out when he's gonna be performing. I'm sick of this because I keep finding about stuff absolutely
after the fact.
Yeah, because it was like shortly after the new year, and he had posted on his page that he had just did an impromptu DJing set at Paisley and did like a little party. And he was DJing. Somebody was trying to video, it was watching him or video or something. He was like, dance. Dance. Don't watch me dance. I was like, dang. So I was like, I'm gonna go to one of these. Like, I'm gonna start following him because I want to go. And he was just starting to promote piano on a microphone. And I was like, no, I am going to this thing. And the tickets for Atlanta was getting ready to go on sale. And I was like, if he comes to Boston, I'm going.
And I almost went to the Atlanta shows. I was thinking about it, but then I had the same thing you did. I was like, well, when he come to LA, I'll definitely. So yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, because I considered it too, but I was just like, oh, no, I don't feel like flying all the way to Atlanta because it was like real quick. I was like, and it was cold. You know, it was like February or March. You know, like around that time where I would have had to get in. I had to get out of Boston. You know, right. Boston got all that snow, and I was like, I don't know, I can't do it right now. If he come up here, I'm gonna have to go. If he comes to the garden or something, I'll go. And I was just mad because I was following on Twitter too, you know, and seeing the stuff that he was posting on Twitter. He was actually answering folks back. And I was like, oh, shoot, you know, kind of like back in the day, like I was reading on one of the platforms how he would be in the chat rooms talking to folks and they didn't realize they was talking to him. You know, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, but they said that's the way he was.
So, but yeah, just really cool to just talk about him and talk about him with someone who loves him just as much as I do. I know that we're wrapping down. Been at this for an hour. This has been.
Has it been?
It has been an hour. This has been amazing.
I was nervous.
And we went all the way around Prince's Purple World literally in an hour.
Oh, one concert I forgot to tell you. One that me and Jennifer was talking about earlier today was the Hit and Run at the Wilton Theater because we passed it. I thought I was going to lose my job because I left work because it was one of those impromptu concerts where he just announced it that morning and the concert was that night. And me and my friend Victor, who's no longer with us, rest in peace, we left work and got tickets because we lived right around the corner at that time.
Yeah.
And that was during the parade era.
Wow.
The Around the World in a Day in Parade songs.
Man, I love it. You got the best stories too. Like it brings me so much joy to talk to people who've been to his shows, who have these amazing Prince experiences. And I'm so happy that you shared it with me, shared it with my audience, and allowed us into like the purple history, like the ultimate purple history. I hope that you will come back and do this again because I know I got some questions that's going to come up after the fact, specifically after I listen to Billy Sunglasses and Suicide. We got to talk again. But with that being said, this week we're getting ready to celebrate his birthday, even though he didn't celebrate his birthday. I think I want to say one of my favorite interviews is him talking to the doing the interview with the German TV show host where he gives his thoughts on birthdays and
I have to check that.
And I was just going to ask you before we go, is there anything that you remember about him and any favorite interviews that he may have done or any final thoughts that you wanted to share with the audience about some of the fun things that he would do that you can remember from over the years?
Off the top of my head, I really can't say.
Okay.
But I just know that he was a prankster based on everyone, with their interviews and stuff after the fact that, when he passed and everything. But I kind of got a lot of that in his music too, with songs like Movie Star.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know Vibrator. Vibrator is a Vanity 6 outtake where he's doing his Morris Day at the end of the song, where he goes, the vibrator runs out of batteries and he got to go to the store to get some money. So I knew he had this great sense of humor,
He was so funny. I love the prank that he did on Jay Leno. That was another one of my favorite ones.
Okay.
Where he was calling him on the phone and had him thinking his swivel chair wasn't working. I love that one. But I also want to say that dog, I forgot what I was getting ready to say. No, I just love the fact that he did, like, he was really playful in some of those songs, on just random songs that like you'll find on like the Crystal Ball and
In the Sunshine.
Yeah. And I just love that.
Whole song takes a turn and just and then never could take the place of your man.
Yeah. And I also want to say some of the most random places where Prince stuff pops up for me. Recently, I was watching Sister Sister.
Okay.
And in the first episode, when they are shopping in the store, when they finally meet for the first time, there's a Diamonds and Pearls poster on the wall.
I have to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen it. And I'm sure I commented on it at the time, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and peek that out.
And there's an episode of Family Matters where a Prince song is playing in one of the episodes too. So I was like, wait a minute, these are some random. I didn't even remember that this was in here. Also, there's a Vanity 6 song in one of the National Lampoon movies. It's like he's so
he's so dull.
Yeah, he's so dull. It's in I think it's the one where they go to either Europe or the first one, or vacation. But I always trip off of that every time I see it, because I'm like, oh my God.
People always loved Prince, but Prince was, before Purple Rain, he was an underground artist.
Yeah.
Especially in the Black community.
Yeah. So,
and then movies like Love Jones, where they mention Prince. Like,
what scene?
When he knocks on her door, he got her number from the record store, and he show up at her door, and then she said, "Call me, the next time, because I know you got the number." But in that conversation, he's like, "Well, I'll be coming back with Prince CDs. You know how that brother liked to pump out an album every 4 or 5 albums." Yeah.
Sure did. Oh my God. It's so many and I love it because there's a lot of different references where he gets mentioned. Or they subtly put him in like the music or in the background or something like that. I love that. Did you like and I'm because I can keep going forever. But did you like when
I have to edit?
No, because this is just great conversation, and if people love Prince, they're gonna want to listen and watch too. So, but did you love when Spike did "She's Gotta Have It" and did that whole episode that was dedicated to Prince in the first season? I think it was the first season. Yeah, the first season. It was really good. She's Gotta Have It when Netflix.
Oh, you're talking about the TV show?
Yeah, when he did it.
I haven't seen any of that. I have to pick that out.
Okay, yeah, because Yeah, because he did a whole episode dedicated in the first season to Prince. And he did a whole episode in the second season where they did his celebration that he used to do in Brooklyn. Yeah. And
I was
it
going
was
to go
just
to
really
that.
nice
He
of him.
have it that year.
Yeah.
So.
Did you went to it?
No, I was calling myself being on top of it and stuff, and I had gotten dates and everything, but it turns out all the stuff that I had gotten a hold of was for the previous year.
Oh, man. So, but yeah, Michael, this has been a pleasure. You have to come back. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed our trip around Prince's Purple World, and thank you very much.
Thank my producer sitting here. That come here, producer. She set me up because I was nervous as I don't know what. Yeah, and she made me feel comfortable. I love her to death. There she is.
Everybody, this is my one of my best friends too. Yeah. So I just want to say thank you everyone for watching today. You can check out this audio and also the video on YouTube. And we want to send Prince a heavenly birthday, happy birthday, even though we know you didn't celebrate it. We want to send our love to you, to the heavens. And I just want to say thank you again to Mr. Michael Bew. It's just been an honor and a pleasure having you here today. Thank you to the producer for setting it up.
We got to get you back out to LA.
Absolutely. I'm coming back. And guys, if you want to follow me, check me out on social media, Creative Cafe, on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can also check out my website, www.creativecafe.com, and pick up my books on Amazon and also on Kobo. I'm a romance author. I love to write about the joys and peaks and valleys of love, and let me become your favorite romance author. And thank you again for joining us. Peace, y'all.